Hey everybody, I'm Chef Tom with atbbq.com, and this is Ribeye Cap Steaks. If you're not familiar, the ribeye cap, also known as the spinalis dorsi, is that thin strip of meat around the edge of a ribeye steak that's the most delicious part of a ribeye. Maybe one of the best tasting pieces of beef in general. It's the first place I go when I eat a ribeye. Today we're gonna slice that off a roast, roll it up like a roulade, cut it into steaks and grill it. So right here is that spinalis, or that rib cap. Look how the marbling is so rich in there. That's why it tastes so good. So this is what a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bone section of prime rib or rib roast. If you can find just the spinalis by itself, that's awesome. But for me, I'd rather just buy a big hunk of meat. I've been hacking away at this one already. So I'm gonna take about 4 bones of this, and that's what we're gonna work with today. Man, look at the marbling on that. That's why we go prime. And then we're gonna peel away this spinalis. You can kind of get your finger under there because of that fat line. Use a little knife to help us along here. Now, just because we're taking this off doesn't mean you can't still have good ribeye steaks, especially if you're buying a prime piece, because this we can actually slice into steaks. I'll cryovac it and save it for later. All right, so once you get to the bottom of that fat cap, you're just gonna make your cut. And again, these, I would just take these and slice them however large you like them, throw them into a cryovac, and then into the freezer. Now we've got a little bit of trimming to do. So there's some hard fat in here that's gonna come off. I don't mind having some fat on there, but that really hard fat's not gonna render super well. And this isn't bad fat, it's not unusable. I mean, that's a good piece to throw into your grind if you're making sausage or burgers or something. Now right here, you'll see all these streaky lines. This is silver skin. It's super chewy, it doesn't render out, so we're gonna trim that off. Just cut yourself a tab and work your way down. So that's all cleaned up. Now let's go ahead and flip this over to the fat cap side. Again, some thick fat here. We're gonna take some of that off, especially the stuff that just pulls right off. And we'll kind of do the same thing here, clean this up. Now, if it seems kind of silly that I'm taking the fat off when we know that fat helps the flavor, just know that we've already seen the intramuscular fat in here, and that's gonna be all the fat we need to make this delicious. I'd rather get rid of this silver skin so that we're not chewing on it later, and it allows us access to the meat so we can season it. Now we're ready to get some seasoning on here, but just to show you what we're gonna do, we're gonna roll this guy up just like this, and then we'll tie some strings around it and cut it into steaks. So for the inside, all I'm gonna add is some gochujang, just enough to cover the surface. It's probably gonna be about 3 to 4 tablespoons. Just spread that into a thin layer, and we are ready to roll. So now we're gonna roll, and don't worry that some of this is gonna squeeze out. That's why we put a little extra in there. Work it right back in. And once we got that kind of rolled up the way we want it, we're gonna tie. Now you guys might have seen my video on how to truss a roast. We are not using that technique today. Instead, what we'll be doing is actually tying individual portions. And that's so that we can cut in between each one without cutting through a string. This gochujang's gonna make it a little slippery, but I'll do a triple twist here so I can cinch it. Pull that tight, and then tie it off. And then it's up to you how thick you want each one of your steaks to be. We're gonna go probably about like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think that'll work. All right, last one here. Just go a couple times around here. As long as you can get it to grab 2 or 3 times around, it'll help hold that before you can tie the knot. Let's get rid of all these strings, the excess. Now don't forget, after this is cooked, you're gonna need to take a string off or you'll be chewing on it. Now we'll simply slice right in between each one of these pieces of twine. And you've got pinwheels of beefy goodness with gochujang all the way to the center. All right, so let's get them on the prep tray. We're gonna hit them with a little bit of seasoning before they go to the grill. Today we're using the Yoder Smokers beef rub. This is a savory rub, salt and pepper. Not gonna really affect the flavor in a major way. I want to let that gochujang shine. We're also going to have some extra flavors to top it off with. Also, you'll notice that I'm not going super heavy and I'm not going to hit the sides because that gochujang's already a bit salty and we don't want to oversalt these. Today we're cooking on the Yoder Smokers YS640S pellet grill. It's running at 500 degrees, set up for direct grilling, and I've got my grill grates installed. Grill grates are nice and hot. We're gonna hit this with a little duck fat first just to prevent any sticking. And then we're going directly over the fire here. The goal here is to get some nice char, some grill marks on one side, flip them, get them on the other side, and we'll just keep flipping until they're fully cooked, unless we need to move them off to the indirect side. So it's been about 5 minutes now. We're getting some nice grill marks on there. Flip them over and let them keep going. So I'm gonna look for about 130 on a finishing temperature here. This has got just a few degrees to go. These are starting to come up to temp, so we're gonna be pulling them off. I'm gonna keep those juices on there if I can. Now we're gonna put together a really simple sauce to go over the top. We'll start with about a 1/4 cup of Kewpie mayo. Then we're gonna add about 2 tablespoons of this Bachan's miso barbecue sauce. This stuff is so freaking good. And then a squeeze of lime juice, maybe about a teaspoon or 2. Just do it to taste. Let's get them plated and finished off. Don't forget the juices. Now let's top it off with our sauce here. Finish that off with a little bit of chili crunch on top. And then some green onions. Beautiful. All right, let's get a taste of this. Oh, gotta get some of that chili crunch on there. I just want more. Such fantastic marbling. The flavors are crazy, but I love that Asian flavored profile in there. The gochujang is fantastic. You're getting the creaminess from that mayo, the Japanese barbecue sauce. The chili crunch adds a nice little bit of heat. You could do this any which way you want though. Throw pesto in there. I mean, literally anything you can think of you could put in the middle of this thing and it's still gonna be fantastic. Now, I've got one more idea for what we can do with this specific flavor profile. I'm gonna chop up our pretty little spiral here into tiny pieces. All right, now let's dress it with our creamy sauce. Then we got some butter lettuce. Fill it up. A little more chili crunch. The green onions. We got a nice little lettuce wrap. That's some dang good handheld food right there. The crunchy lettuce, the freshness of it, it's a nice contrast to how rich this steak is. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to check out atbbq.com for all the products featured in today's video. If you enjoyed the recipe, hit that subscribe button. And if you have any questions or comments or there's anything you'd like to see me cook, let me know in the comment section down below, and let's be good to one another. For more recipes, tips, and techniques, head over to atbbq.com/thesauce. All things barbecue, where barbecue legends are made.